All right, it says I'm live. I'm trying to get set up here. It says that I'm live. This is John Boy coming at you from West Tennessee. How y'all doing today? Hit that like button if you don't mind. I'm trying to get the YouTube algorithm on my side. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. I couldn't get the camera to come on to get set up. Dadgum Empress. How do I usually do this? I kind of want the mic in the. There we go. Nah, yeah, I like to stay hidden. I like to stay hidden in the background. Oh man. All right, now what? Desktop. Yeah, that's right. I'm on my daggum desktop right here. Trying to do a live stream from the web camera. I've been having a little problems. This daggum thing right here, where am I? Does not do the job. So I had to go hotspot on my phone. Yeah, this Roku is supposed to pick up anywhere, do up to 10 devices, 150 megabytes per second. Yeah. Well, I checked the A7. I checked the daggum, what's it called? The properties. And it's only showing I'm getting 72 little bytes per second instead of the 152 they say. And like I said, I'm not using this right now because it doesn't work. They say it works anywhere. Man, it does not. You can you can have a cell tower right in front of it and it won't work. I already put up a short on that. Oh man, but I'm griping, ain't I? I don't have anything else to do but gripe. You know what I mean? Gripe, gripe, gripe. Yeah, these are the original John Boy glasses. I didn't feel like I got my streaming glasses still in the box there. Oh man, let me tell y'all what they've been doing the skies up today around here. They did them up yesterday. I've been recording this stuff. I got an external hard drive that I'm putting everything on. I forgot how many terabytes of daggum data to hold, but it's a big one. That's the old plasma lighter I'm trying. Look at it. You can taste the ozone when you're lighting up your cigarette. Yeah. Nothing like a good old tobacco stick and a cup of coffee, man. I drink coffee 24/7. At night, I hook the coffee IV into my veins. I'm kidding. Look, if I could get some service, I'm gonna get my OBS studio up so I can start showing and sharing and pointing out and bringing up news stories, and we can all watch a video together or whatever. Actually, I was thinking about today. I was going to get the OBS going and just do a stream of my videos all day. You know what I mean? But I can't get this stupid thing here that works anywhere. Yeah, this man, I swear, gimmick, gimmick, gimmick. The daggone star, what was Star Scope? That was another big ass gimmick. Because I got on Timu and I ordered. It's I gotta actually be on. I mean, it's not that it's just as good as the Star Scope. It's just a little bit smaller, but it's made identical. It's just a little bit smaller. Now look, that Star Scope cost me, I think it was 60 after tax, $74, right? That daggum basic Star Scope from Timu came with a tripod. It came with a what would you call it? A device where you can put your smartphone in it and then attach it to the eyepiece so you can video through it. And there was something else. And it was only like $18. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I got a tripod, got the daggone star scope, and whatever I just said, because I'm telling you, I can forget what I'm doing in the middle of doing it. I'm getting tired of this, man. I think I got Alzheimer's or dementia, something, man. It's been coming on, but it's gotten worse. I ain't lying. When I tell y'all I can forget what I'm doing while I'm doing it, I'm not kidding. Not kidding one bit. So, hey, is the audio working, I guess? I mean, I, I, I forgot and I was setting up and I didn't have the sound card plugged in. And sometimes it doesn't want to use. I mean, can you hear there's a bunch of crows that fly over. But hey, Seven, if I could do a live, if I could get a StreamYard up, I'd like to have you as a guest. I know there's a way to do it on my cell phone where I can invite a guest, but I think you have to have an app first. Or maybe you don't. I don't remember, but if you go in, like you're going to do a live stream from your phone and you get in there before you ever start setting it up, you can go down there to invite a guest. And as long as you know their Gmail, I think, you send them an invite. I did it before. I had Bang Bang come on. Who else did I have? Wait a minute. Did I have you, Seven? I can't remember now. And then the last live stream I did, or StreamYard, Ben Time Traveler came up. Man, I didn't realize somehow StreamYard muted my mic. I was like doing all this talking, but I got a recording of the first 4 minutes that didn't have any audio because I was recording it through the studio. Watch Woman of the Dragon. How you doing today? Man, they're really messing up this. Oh, I forgot. Man, I'm telling y'all, if you can, you better do it. Anything you can think of that you might need, you need to go ahead and order that stuff now and get it going to, get it to you. Because I'm telling you, man, I got several different pairs of sunglasses. Because believe me, you need sunglasses in this day and age. I've sat there. I've got a Geiger counter, infrared, night vision, zoomable scope. I've got a thermo imaging camera. Now this is going to work. So if something happens and say this country was invaded, militarily invaded, man, with the thermal imaging stuff and the night vision, I'll be able. It'll add an extra layer of protection for me. You know what I mean? I can scout around. Because they got everything. So I'm just saying, man, the time's come. I don't know if we'll make it to the daggum presidential switch, which is probably not going to matter. These people are trying to start World War III for some reason. I guess they need to depopulate, and they make a lot of money building the weapons, that is. The old squirrely squirrel survived another night. Tomorrow morning be her 2 weeks out in the forest. I guess it's 2 weeks. Yeah, because last Monday was 7 days. Yeah. Time is it's unmeasurable now. I'm serious, man. It feels like every week I have to go to the cell phone place and pay my bill. I mean, it does. It feels like I just paid it last week. You can't tell me a month went by between the last time I paid this bill. I mean, it's crazy. But time is just clicking on by, and it seems like it's getting faster and faster. It's just crazy, man. I mean, I can think back when I was 12, man, I felt like I did live a lifetime up to 12, but man, those 12 years felt like 100. Oh man, and then to get to 16, that felt like it took 50 years, you know? I mean, from the age of whatever I was just saying. See what I mean? I forget what I'm saying in the middle of saying it, man. It's crazy. But yeah, and then time kept getting a little, the weeks were getting a little shorter and a little shorter. And next thing you know, man, the weekend's like coming home in the afternoon. You know what I mean? Friday, you come home, Monday, you're going to work, and it seems like you just took a nap for a minute. Where'd the weekend go? You know what I mean? What's going on, Will? How you doing? Yeah, it's not afternoon here yet. It's still morning time down here in Tennessee. Yep, down here in Hillbillyville, it's still morning time. They've been trying to cover that sun up all day long. I ain't lying, man. They've had some jets out today. And what's crazy is I don't document when we have just blue skies, right? Because there's nothing to document. There's no airplanes making lines. There's no clouds. There's no nothing. But then all of a sudden, you start seeing clouds that aren't. They were an hour earlier a contrail, but now they're turning into a cloud. And then they start coming in with those jets making more lines and making more clouds. But you go through 3 days and nothing but blue skies and no jets making any lines of any kind. If you do see a jet, it doesn't even the real contrail behind it. I'm like, okay, it's hard to document. I need to set up a time lapse. That's the only way you can really show it is in a time lapse. But who am I? I mean, what do I know? I'm just a stupid old hillbilly. Yeah, I forgot to buy some. I had to get in the truck. I got to supply dog treats and dog food in case we just got to spend the night or whatever. Something happens and we don't make it to the house. I'm prepared, man. I'm telling you, behind the seat of my truck, I got tent, wool blankets, fleece blankets, axes, saws, knives, first aid kit, survival pack. Man, I'm telling you, I'm ready. I got a couple of pew pews coming in through the mail. Yeah, they're supposedly airsoft, but I realize what the gist of it is now. The only thing illegal, all right, a firearm is only a firearm if it's one working, gun, a firearm, right? But do you know when you take it apart, all the pieces except for the frame are considered parts, but the frame, because it's got the serial number on it, is still considered the firearm. It's crazy. So I think these people are manufacturing these airsoft guns. And if you know what you're doing, you buy one of them airsoft guns and you sit there and take the you use the frame part of it, but you put the real parts from whatever the airsoft gun is mimicking on it, and you got you a pew pew. You know what I mean? Hey, Ouija, what? What? You want to go inside? This dog's been just at my feet, man. I don't know what her deal is. She won't let me out of her sight. What's wrong with you, Ouija? I think I got. Hang on. I think I had too much light. What? I can't get you up here, Ouija. You're too big. She wants in my lap. Ouija, come on now, be good. Be good. I know we used to do this, but you're a lot smaller. This dog. Shit. People see her and they're like, how did they put it? But anyhow, it's like, she's plump. Or you're treating her well. Or maybe you should slack off on the snacks. But it ain't like that. Everything I give her is wholesome. It's like real pea and real duck and turkey. And, oh, what was that? All right, this is going to be messed up. Here. All right, wait. Oh. Remember that night the Bigfoot screamed and we were up here listening? You remember that, Ouija? You looked just like that, didn't you? Huh? My you Ouija girl. You good girl. Man, we're going to pull these earphones out of my head if I don't watch it. Here, get right there. There you go. All right, where was I? Your little feet are cold, Ouija. I don't know. I think it's something to do with me messing with that squirrel, and she knows I'm paying attention to it. And I've got to sit a certain way, so I'm holding this dog. But yeah, I think it's something to do with me spending time with this squirrel that's got her where she's just focused on me. I can't do anything. This dog is right there. Ain't that right, Ouija? I don't know what she's lit. Her ears are. Hang on, if I can get her in the shot. No, I can't. Yeah, you kind of saw the ears. Those ears all perked up. I don't know what was in the woods the other morning, yesterday morning, but she took off like, I call it the stranger bark because, it's like a person barks. You don't know who it is. And it's a weird bark. It's like she's going, whoo, but it's like, whoo. And she, I don't know how to explain it. It's a weird kind of bark. And it's because it's somebody or something she doesn't understand. But she'll still charge the direction of it, right? So instead, I didn't yell or anything. I'm just gonna sit there and see what happens because I didn't know what she was barking at. And she kind of stopped and did her bark again. And I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a albino deer, but I saw something, I don't know. I mean, looking through the woods and all the trees and stuff and the limbs hanging down and all that, it's hard to see something in detail. But I saw something that would be probably the size of a deer, but it was white. And it was slipped through the wood. I mean, I only saw it for a brief second, and I can't tell you what it was. I just saw something white, and the white I saw was about the size of, a deer body. But I don't know, man. I ain't never seen an albino deer out here. The only thing I ever seen that was all whitish like that was that daggone skinwalker I chased up the driveway. Yeah, that was crazy. It started out, I thought I was going to chase a dog out of the yard, right? I mean, this is like 1:30 in the morning. And I slipped out, figured out where it was. I wasn't using any lights. It's totally dark, right? But I had like a 20,000 candlewatt spotlight, and I heard it. And I sat there and aimed the light in the direction I heard the noise, and I turned it on. And whatever it was looked up and started running, and it was going to run in between my Jeep and my car. And I was like, all right. So I ran for behind the Jeep and car where it was going to come out, and I was going to beat it there. I actually had to slow down because I still hadn't figured out this thing was big, right? I mean, it was as big as me, or bigger, but I don't know how to explain it. It kind of looked like a greyhound, but it kind of looked like, I don't know how to explain it. But the back legs, it reminded me of like a grasshopper. And that thing, man, it had like black eye sockets, and there's no reflection coming. Because look, I was right. I could have reached out and touched this thing. I was that close, and I was running behind it, and it was sitting there turning around looking at me. And when it was running, every time it hit the ground to run, it'd be like, "Buh, buh, buh, buh." It was doing like that when it was running. It's turning around looking at me. And by that time, I decided whatever this hairless gray thing is, it ain't a dog. I don't know what it is. So I stopped running, right? Well, that thing saw I stopped, I guess. So I had a cable across the end of the driveway. And it got that cable and it stopped and it ducked under and went under and got on the other side of it. And it looked at me like, "U.M. Epper." And then it just walked off down the road. And I'm like, I still ain't figured out what I saw. And I told my neighbor about it. He's like, "You saw a skinwalker." I'm like, "What the hell's a skinwalker?" I've heard skinwalker, but I ain't never paid attention to it, right? So I went and Googled skinwalkers, and I started looking through the, I guess, pictures or artists' conceptions of it or whatever. And I found a few that looked like what I saw. So I guess it was like, I don't know, skinwalker, rake, whatever you want to call it. But I chased one of those, man. That's what I'm saying, man. My dad had a dog, and me and that dog fought dogs together because packs of dogs would come and jump on my dad's dog. I wouldn't have none of that, right? So I'd run out there and start kicking dogs off my dog because he was my dog too. He's my dad's dog. He's my dog. But yeah, I'd run out there and I'd kick dogs off. One time I come home and there's a bunch of dogs jumping on the dog, and I was on my motorcycle. Man, I drove right where the fight was. I ran over one of them and kicked another one as I was trying to stop and get off the bike. But me and that dog and my dad's, we were probably in about 5 different dog fights. That's crazy, but it's true, man. And I don't know where I was going with that story. I, I really don't. Let's see, where was I going? It's talking about that dog and how. Oh, and that's why I'm telling you. And I used to raise pit bulls, and I've had to break up pit bull fights and stuff. So when what I thought was a stray dog was in the yard and I was chasing it, that's because I ain't scared of dogs or nothing like that. But what got me is I was trying to figure out what I was chasing while I was chasing it, and I started deciding it wasn't a dog or anything that I know of. So I stopped. I mean, I've chased dogs before, and I'll kick them in the butt. Not hard. How hard can you kick a dog while you're running behind a dog? You know what I mean? You just kind of got a side foot while you're stepping out. But anyhow, I mean, but whatever it was, I chased up that driveway. I do not know. I mean, that's all I can say. I don't know. What? I don't know. What's a wheelbarrow pull and swing for dog fight? Huh. Yeah, we up in Jackson. There's a few albino squirrels. I knew of like 4 different squirrels up. It's weird. They call me the squirrel man at work. And just because I rescued a squirrel, and for some reason, all the squirrels around the shop sit there and gather around the body shop. I don't know why. It's crazy. They call me the squirrel. They tell your squirrel wouldn't let me get to the dumpster. What? Which I'm telling you, man, a squirrel is a dangerous animal. Oh, the only way I've ever got pit bulls to stop fighting is luckily they had collars on, and you just grab the collar and twist and choke them out until they start passing out. And they'll start losing grip, and once they lose enough grip, you can get them apart. That's the only way. Man, I used to raise my pits. I had like the mom and the dad together in the pen. The only thing I did was before the mother had puppies, I would separate the father dog, right? And I'd let the mother raise the puppies up until their eyes open. That's like what, 2 weeks? I can't remember. I used to do this stuff a long time ago. And after the puppy's eyes open, then I'd let the daddy dog back in. And then have a whole family. I had the daddy dog was trained. I'm talking about I didn't need a leash with him. That thing was under total verbal, facial expressions, thought control. I mean, that was the best pit bull I ever had. I could have him around other dogs and he would not touch them. But for some reason, and this is after the puppies were, I don't know, 9 months old or whatever, it's like, all right, I had the mom dog and a father dog and six puppies in one pen. And the puppies, like I said, they're like 8, 9 months old. I don't know what happened, but the mom and dad dog got to fighting. And I was home alone in the pen, and I got my two, my breeding pits are locking together, right? They're fighting. So the only thing I could do was the male dog had the female the best. So I grabbed the female up in my arms, and I had to reach down with my other arm and grab his collar and start twisting until he finally started, getting ready to pass out or whatever. And he let go, and I was able to throw the mug over the fence and get her out of the pen. But the craziest thing, I waited 15 minutes and put the mother dog back in there. Everything's fine, never another problem. I still haven't figured out how and why that happened. It just didn't make any sense. Shoot, this guy, the first pit bull fight I ever had to break up was that male dog, and he was like 9 months old. And the dude brought his dog over to my house, and his dog was like 3 years old. It was a red nose and had been fighting all its life, and he saved it from fighting. But when he brought it over and we're going to see how they would act, fence is dividing them, right? My little 9 month old pit dives underneath the fence and jumps, jumped on a 3 year old red nosed fighting pit bull. It was on. Well, dude had a breaker stick, and he went to put it in the jaws of his dog, and it wasn't working. It wasn't working in my dog's jaws. It wasn't working in his dog's jaws. Well, I heard if you get your thumbs and you get it back there in, the hinge part of the jaw, you can push your thumbs in there and then make them unlock, right? So being that my dog was only 9 months old, I wasn't worried about, we're trying to get the 3 year old. That's the dog that was going to do the damage, right? So I stuck my thumbs in that 3 year old dog's jaws and went to push. And I'm gonna tell you, pit bulls when they're fighting, they get a death glare. They just have this stare. It's just they're in another world with their eyes. But when I stuck my thumbs in there and tried to push, that dog stopped the death stare, looked me in my eyes, and bit down on my thumbs so hard I had to yank them out. And then he went back to the death stare. So after about 15 minutes, the only thing we was like, choke them out, choke them out. So we grabbed him collar and they finally let go. But man, we were bloody from head to toe from that. I was like, damn, I don't never want to break up another pit bull fight. But I never fought them. It's just the accidental how dogs do kind of stuff. Oh, I knew you meant back legs. Now, bag legs, that would be for the foreigners that have come in and looking for something to eat. I've never seen water work. You know how people say, spray them with the water hose, dump a bucket. Yeah, that don't work. It don't work. It might work on dogs other than pit bulls, but it don't work on pit bulls, I'm going to tell you. I love pit bulls. Those are the most lovingness, caringest. I mean, they're a good dog. It's just the owners is what makes them, get the bad reputation. Man, I went up here to scroll the chat with my finger. I forgot I'm on desktop. This ain't a touch screen. That's a long time to be raising dogs. Shoot, I've had Ouija here for over 10 years now. She's getting old. She's 70. She done passed me up. Yeah, and I can't get the weight off of her. And then, I was telling you, people were commenting about her, her weight or whatever. I was like, you should have seen her before she started losing weight. And she's lost some weight, but she's still dead gum. Looks like she swallowed a basketball. But I will say this, there is a possum bigger than this dog. I've ran into it a few times. Is that squirrel? What I'm thinking about doing on this computer, if I could get better internet service, is I've got a few webcams. I got one that came in, but I'm thinking about putting some up on the roof so I can sit there and watch the sky and stuff. People's Last Stand. How you doing out there? Man, are you as uncomfortable as I am? She's sitting on one leg. I got to put my arm down on my leg so she can put her feet up there on my wrist and forearm. I can't get the this is too much trouble trying to get in the camera view. Oh man. Kia 1111. How you doing? Yeah. I guess is this live stream doing all right? I think I still got too much light coming in somewhere. Maybe I should unplug that. Yeah, here we go. I gotta let you down. Oh, there you go. Oop. Can I do this? What? That ain't working? Why? You gotta be kidding me. Are you serious? Unbelievable. Oh, there it goes. What did that do? If I do that and unplug that. Did that? Oh, that made everything look weird, didn't it? Yeah, that's weird right there. Huh. Yeah, I guess I need to go to the other light. Where am I at? Or just leave it with no light. Nah, okay, I got too much light coming in the door. That's what it is. That's what it is. All right. Well, there's nothing I can do about the lighting. I tried. Mama tried. Mama tried. Man, there's one country song I heard dude sitting there saying, how did he say it again? He was born a rebel. Man, I understand that. I was born the way I am. I was born this way. I guarantee you, Lady Gaga one. Lady Gaga got something swinging. I promise y'all, that's a dude. Just that's the vibes I get off of it. Excuse me. I hear a helicopter. I wonder if it'll pick up on this. Let me see. Y'all hear it? Man, I'm sick of the helicopters. I'm sick of the airplanes. I'm sick of the drones. And whatever them triangle craft that take me away every other night. They take me to the planet Calgon. Calgon, take me away. That was the stupidest commercial. Y'all remember that? I don't get. Man, I get these helicopters go over. They're only like 30 foot above the treetops, and they're loud as crap, and they go right over top of me. I've filmed them, but I've never uploaded it. Well, I have uploaded a couple, but not the recent ones. I don't know what it is. It's like the air ambulance or something. It's some I don't know, man. But the motor on it sounds military. It didn't used to sound like that. And then it changed and started sounding military. And what I think they did, they got people used to seeing the air back, whatever. And then they went and painted up some military helicopters like an air back. So that way when you look up, you see the white and the blue and the red. But it don't sound the same. That's my plasma lighter. That's not a flame. That's daggum like 10,000 volts. Oh yeah, I forgot. I've had this for over a year. I got a daggum microscope that I'm planning on plugging in. I'm planning on doing a good daggum channel eventually. But yeah, I got that microscope. And then I got a couple of endoscopes. But I got that microscope so I can sit there. Look how big this piece of meteorite is. I mean, that is big. Daggum big chunk of meteorite. Where's And if you look at the stuff on it, man, that camera sucks. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, the flight deck is. Man, I've watched 3 airplanes triangulate. Was that on the live stream or? That's what I'm telling you, man. I can't keep up with time anymore. I can't keep up with what is real and what is fake. Everything's fake in my book. I'm telling y'all, man. I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. Look, you only is that am I blowing out the mic? You only get this chance in this world one time, right? So if you're only here one time in the period of all eternity, then what does that tell you? This is not the reality. And let me get it up. The reality that we actually came from. You see what I'm saying? This is kind of like a pit stop. We just kind of, hey, let's live in the world of Earth for a while. You know what I mean? It's temporary. So that means this is not a reality. But the mind game is make you believe this is everything. When in actuality, this is nothing more than a turd. I hate to say it like that. Man, I look around here, these helicopters, there's a valley. Uh-oh, we're fixing to have some problems. That was the rake screaming. No, I'm joking. But helicopters will fly up this valley and they're below the treetops. Because I'm on, all right, this hill I'm on is about the highest height you can get in West Tennessee. And this hill I'm on, everything on the west side of it runs toward the Mississippi, and everything on the east side of it runs toward the Tennessee River. So I'm kind of the high point. It's a ridge, and this ridge runs from where I'm at all the way up to Paris, Tennessee, not Paris, France. But where was I going with this? Oh yeah, them helicopters. Now I'm on the side of this hill, and it's say I'm trying to remember what the height is. It's like 678 above sea level, and where I'm at is about 585 or something like that. But anyhow, what I'm trying to say is these helicopters are below me going down through this valley because that valley floor is like 200 feet above sea level. So that means they're flying about 300 foot off the ground around here. It's crazy. And those were Army helicopters that were doing that. But yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff. I used to see these two Learjets that would follow each other. I mean, there's one Learjet in front and another Learjet. I don't know. It wasn't 200 foot, if that far, behind the first one. And they're at low level and they're just coasting across the treetops. I'm like, what the hell? But I did get on Google Maps, and this is like years later, and I found in a field around my area here, looked like an airstrip, a dirt airstrip. And then it hit me. I was like, well, daggone, those planes are coming in for a landing on that airstrip because look, it's a field out in the middle of the woods. I mean, there's no other fields around. It's a big field, and it had the landing lights. I'm telling you, I saw the equipment there. I'm like, look at this. It'd probably be about a 2-mile walk from where I'm at. I know how to get there. I just ain't gonna do it. I know where daggone Black Panther is too, but I ain't gonna go film that again either. That is crazy. I didn't hear it growling, but it was show on the video you could hear it. And then I enhanced the screenshot, and you could see it up inside that hollow log sticking its head out looking. I mean, it wasn't sticking its head out. It had its head at the end, still in the darkness. And it looked like a human skull on the ground in front of it. It was crazy. And that ain't even a quarter mile from me. That's what, man, I'm telling y'all, man, there's some crazy stuff up in these woods. I've been putting out those black sunflower seeds. I forgot who told me to do that. Was it you, Watch Woman? Somebody did. These squirrels are tearing them up. They didn't tear them up the first time. I guess they figured out what it was. They can't get enough of them. Yeah, Kia. Yep, I agree. I heard a Buddhist. Well, no, he wasn't Buddhist. What do you call them people? A guru like guy. He said that before you're conceived, your expiration date is already given. You know what I mean? They know whatever is in charge of sending the souls down here, you're given an expiration date before you even leave where you're at. That's crazy. What? Kate. Isn't that how you spell the name on the car? And the car is pronounced Kia. Or is it spelled Kia? I don't know, man. I'm just a dadgum hillbilly. Y'all gotta excuse me. I gotta watch them grammar. Yeah. Gotta watch them grammar. I remember, man, when I was a kid, my mom get on for saying the word brung. We brung this to you. It's not brung, it's bring. Yeah, but you bring something means the process of. You brung something means you done did it. You know what I mean? That's just a hillbilly way of looking at it. Oh man, I'm just gonna keep calling you Kia. I'm sorry, it's stuck in my brain, and at least I got one thing I know is stuck in my brain. But I'm sorry. I don't know, man. It's just hard for old. I don't know. I gotten old now, and old folks get set in their ways, and I guess I'm just kind of set in my ways now. But I've been researching this ghost gun deal. Man, they got a couple guys up in Canada, man. Them jokers they'd make, man, they're making $2,500 for a daggone gun, a ghost gun. And I don't know, I think they made like 2,500 of them. So y'all figure out what's that total? But they're in jail for the next 8 years. Excuse me. Yeah, they're in jail for the next 8 years. But then I saw this thing. It was the first ever ghost gun shooting seminar thing where everybody got together with their own ghost guns, and they were crazy. They're 3D print them out, right? This one dude's gun, man, the end of it looked like a dragon head with his mouth open, and I guess the bullets are coming out where the mouth was. I'm talking about it. It had a dragon head like that big around with his mouth open. Because you can do any design you want with those things. Man, jail sucks. Especially these jails down here, man. They'll lock 20 something people up, 28 people up in a daggum 6-man cell. I kid you not. It's a money making racket because they get paid X amount of dollars per inmate that they house overnight. And then after it's all said and done, they charge you for being in there. So they get double paid. The state pays them for you being in there, and you pay them for you being in there. Because, man, I wound up stuck down in 201 Poplar in Memphis for 100 days. And when I was getting out of there, them MFers made me sign a thing. I couldn't get out unless I signed it. But saying I owed them $3,000 for jail tax. I'm like, what in the world? They're like, we're charging you $30 a day for your housing. I was in there 100 days. That's $3,000 I had to pay for being locked up. On top of the state paid more than that to them for me being in there, It was driving. It wasn't nothing, it's just mowed down the daggone Christmas parade with a moped. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, it's just crazy. But yeah, they charged me $30 a day. $30 a day. Doing them efforts. I ain't been to Memphis in I don't know how many years. Screw Memphis. Screw all of it. This is what I'm gonna do. If I ever get stopped by the law for anything again, because they seem to like to stop me for made up bullshit and give me a ticket for something they made up, then go to court and lie, and then the judge is in on the deal too. Because if I sit there and testify and tell you, the judge, that I never even touched the fog line, let alone go over it, and you're going to find me guilty before I finish what I'm saying? God. I didn't get it lit the first time. But yeah, where was I going with that? I don't know. The mind is such a terrible thing. I promise you. Oh, man. What have I got going on over here? Man, I think I'm through ordering. I got me a replacement charge. Oh, damn, where's this thing? A replacement charge control for my solar panel. But I think I'm having a problem, man. I'm only getting 18 volts, but they did cast up the sky today. All right, watch one. Well, man, my phone's been doing some crazy stuff. Like, I didn't put it in mini screen, but it went to mini screen, and behind it was just all black, and it wouldn't let me X out. You know what I mean? So I had to. What is it when you hide the window? I had to hide the window, but when I pushed on it to bring it back up, it's still a mini screen in my whole black screen. I'm like, what in the world? I wound up having to turn the phone off and restarting it. And then look, all my font sizes were changing. My phone's acting like it wants to do something other than what I want it to do. It's crazy. For touching a piece of fruit. That is crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. But I know what I was going to say. If I get pulled over by the law, I might ask them before anything. I'm going to say, and if they try to shut me up, I'm going to say, I got the First Amendment, and I'm going to tell you this. I want you to tell me what constitutional right you have to stop me during my passage on this public highway. Because the 14th Amendment gives me safe passage without fear of being stopped for anything unless I committed a crime, was in the progress of committing a crime, or had committed the crime. You know what I mean? Other than that, you can't stop anybody on the road. So that question right there should stop everything because they have no constitutional right. If they say you're a spending. If they say you're a speeding, you look at them and say, well, that's an amendment of a statute. It's not a constitutional law. There is no law against speeding in the Constitution. As long as you're not harming anyone, as long as you're not, personal injury, personal property damage, anything like that, it's fair game out there on these streets. You know what I mean? What kind of fruit was it? What would have happened if you ate it? Would you gain eternal life? I mean, seatbelt check. Yeah, I had a cop in Jackson one day, man. Look, it's double, it's 2 lanes south, 2 lanes north, and a median lane in the middle. I'm heading south home. These 2 Jackson cops are heading north. One of them U-turns around real hard and pulls me over. And I'm like, what are you pulling me over for? And he said, you didn't have your seatbelt on. And I looked at him. I said, I most certainly did. He goes, well, you just put it on. I go, I had this seatbelt on before I ever put this car in gear. He's like, no, you didn't have it on. I said, I most certainly did have my seatbelt on, and you're not going to tell. I started going off, man, and then I told him, I was like, look, I have been wearing a seatbelt since 1986 because when I was in the Air Force, if I got killed in a car wreck and wasn't wearing a seatbelt, they wasn't going to pay the life insurance policy. So I had to wear a seatbelt in case I got in a wreck and got killed. So that way somebody got $50,000. That's all it was, but still. And I said, I've had that habit ever since. So I'm telling you, I had my seatbelt on. And I said, if you want to write me a ticket, go ahead and do it. We're going to go to court and I'll prove my case. He said, well, I'm just going to give you a warning this time. That's why, look, I have medical documentation where I have post-traumatic stress disorder due to law enforcement. All right. I'm supposed to have a mediator talk between me and the police. If the police have to have any interaction with me, I'm supposed to have a mediator in between me and them. It falls underneath the daggum, what is that? Handicap. Oh, what's it called? American. God, I can't remember what it's called now. What is that called? It's something to do with handicap. But anyhow, post-traumatic stress disorder is a handicap. Now, I have a handicap, evidently, because I've been diagnosed with it, right? So therefore, but these cops, I tell them, it's like, look, I've got post-traumatic stress disorder due to y'all. Dude, I didn't do nothing. They start getting at. I'm like, I didn't say you did it, but you're starting to act like the ones that did do it to me. You know what I'm saying? Then it makes them a little madder. I'm like, this is exactly why I have PTSD because of how you're acting. It's I gotta talk to them like that, man. These people are stupid. They think they put a badge and a gun on, they can sit there and push anybody they want to around, and that's what they do. They're above the law. That's why when I see them when I'm driving through town, I pick up that PA mic and I on the loudspeaker. Let them know, hey, pig. Yeah. And the other crazy thing is, I've ridden around with Crime Stoppers guy in Jackson in the police car going to auctions and stuff. But he was a cool dude. See, there's a difference. He wasn't an actual cop. He was with what is it? He was the guy on the commercials doing all the Crime Stopper commercials. Have you seen this moron? He was the head of the Fugitive Task Force or something. I can't remember now. And then I had a best friend in high school that became a cop. And the only reason I talk to him to this day is because, he was my friend. He don't act like a cop around me, so that's, and he ain't a cop no more. He retired. Thank goodness. Oh man, I feel my lips getting chapped. It's kind of cold. Wind been blowing for like 4 days. Oh man, what am I gonna do? I can't believe the live stream's going out. It's amazing. I I need to get this thing to start working. I just don't get it, man. This false advertisement for stuff like this should be illegal. Is that showing up the right? Or is that mirror backwards? I bet that's backwards to y'all, ain't it? I can't. There we go. But that's terrible, man. Look, I ain't getting nothing. That's just terrible. I spent that money on this because of their damn lies. One day it worked great. It was like I plugged into a supercomputer or something, man. This thing was like it was scrolling before you could scroll and stuff. I mean, it was ready to go. And then I turned the hotspot on this computer, and dadgum, the hotspot on this computer was better than the hotspot. Somehow, I don't know how that works. How can the hotspot on a computer that's using a hotspot be better than that hotspot? But it was, because I got my laptop and I turned it on, and I was like, damn, the hotspot on this computer made my laptop act like it was brand new, you know. Man, my head feels crooked. Ugh. Oh man, come on, Elon. I need my Neuralink. My neck's getting sore. To infinity and beyond. Poor old Marfogle. That joker been pushing them solar generators and pushing them. Evidently, it shows you need to watch a little local television so you can see the storms coming or whatever, but he got caught his pants down. I mean, he survived it, but he could have survived it a whole lot better if he had sat there and, I mean, if you're going to push your solar cell or your solar generators or whatever it is he's pushing all the time, you got to listen to the daggum speech of get this and get that and do this, that, and the other. You don't want to be caught about it. And then the MFer gets caught about it because he forgot to have it plugged in and charged up. What's the use of having solar generator stuff if you don't have it charged up and ready to go? You know? But everybody's going to find out they're not prepared. No matter how much they think they're prepared, they're going to find out they're not prepared. And I am prepared because I already know I'm not prepared if you got solar generators or not, because it's going to be decades before we get stuff up and running. So might as well learn how to turn pine tree sap into tar and pitch so you can sit there and when you build a log cabin and you got to make a wood shingle roof, you know, you can fix your leaks and stuff. I'm telling you, man. Look, let me show y'all something. If I can find it. Well, I know I can find it. Never mind. I forgot it's already in the backpack. But I got these old books called Foxfire, and they show you the old-fashioned ways of how to make oxen yoke and, banjos and fiddles and log cabins and smokehouses and chill houses. And, that's a refrigerator house. And, it just shows you how to do everything they did back in like the late 1700s when they were establishing this country. So I've got all those books packed away. Well, they're in my main backpack. I've got a daggum aluminum frame backpack. That thing is been sitting there waiting for over 5 years or better now, right? Just sitting there waiting, collecting dust. But yeah, we'll find none of us are truly prepared when it comes to when we need it. But I'm just saying, Marfogle, man, that joker, I don't know why he didn't have those other ones plugged in and charged up. If you're going to push a product, I think this earpiece stopped working. Yeah, if you're going to push a product, you should at least do it right. It would have been a whole lot better if he had been able to live stream from where he was at, where his studio is, instead of having to go out to his car and dramatize the one tree that came down in the road in the neighborhood. I bet him parked there was blocking the road more than that tree was. Oh, I'm sorry. Man, I done run everybody out of chat talking about Marfogle. That's so sad. Don't get me wrong, he's all right. If you like listening to self-promotional advertisement all the time. Which I don't, because YouTube has killed me on these commercials, man. I get so sick of it. I sat there and blocked this one commercial, I know, over 100 times. Don't be like the people in the world. Amen. If we're like people in the world, where Christ is in the Bible? Where's the brother? What'd I do with that? Hey, sorry. Mic up. Now she's gone, and I have to take. God, I'm back. I will eventually get my sound card where I can go through it and get.
To find the right new hauling equipment for your needs. We carry some garden dart tractors all the way up to teeth.
And the same thing. I'm pretty sure probably 100% of the same thing. So